Welcome back. Look at that. Gorgeous out in Coronado this morning. Well, it's been unusual in the real estate world as of recently here in San Diego. Here to give us an update on the real estate market is president and founder of the Jim Bottrell Real Estate Team, Jim Bottrell. Jim, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit, because I just saw in my neighborhood a few homes go up for sale. Prices are still kind of high, but we were talking about in the summer you guys expected things to move pretty quick. Tell me what you're looking at now that we're into October and kind of the final quarter.
Well, prices are down 5 to 10% in San Diego County. It's a very unusual market, and we started out the year in a normal market where there's tight inventory, a lot of buyers, and then it shifted, became a market correction, and then we saw prices decline. You were talking about, actually, what was your second question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just feel like homes are still going up for sale, but maybe some of the prices, like where are we at here? What are we seeing?
Well, we saw housing prices decline. So this was the summer that didn't happen. So, normal market through the summer months, we're going to see 4,000 houses a month sell. Hot markets, we see 7, 8, 9,000 houses per month. We saw 1,900 homes sell per month through the summer. It was just kind of the summer that didn't happen. And then September happened. And that came out of nowhere. That's not supposed to happen. There's plenty of modeling for markets that are very slow. But then September, buyers came out of, just came out of the woodwork. That was a surprise. It arrested the decline, so that we don't seem to be declining anymore. But that was a surprise. This is not supposed to happen in September. I could have probably, in July and August, I was thinking, well, this market correction is going to continue through the winter, and then let's talk again in March, right? And then, again, September happened, shocked everybody. Buyers came out of nowhere. We have a spillover into October. I don't really know what's going to happen with the market. I'd love to be able to say, hey, this is what's going to happen.
You don't have your crystal ball out?
Not when you have a shocker like that, because, you put kids in school in September. You don't go out and buy a house in September, but everybody did. So that was a surprise.
Okay, so as far as if you are a buyer, if you're a seller, if you are in the market right now, what are your tips for people as it's kind of this weird time?
Well, if you're a buyer, there's a lot of buyers out there right now that are saying, I'm going to wait for interest rate X. Right. Well, I'm going to wait. And think about it. We have a 4-year backlog of buyers that are waiting to buy a home, but they're waiting for that X interest rate. All right. Well, the thing is they are waiting for that X interest rate, but there's also 100,000 other buyers in San Diego County that are also waiting for that X interest rate. And when they get down, which they should next year, because we can talk about that a little bit, when they do, we're going to see that Noah's Ark flood of buyers come to the market, and then suddenly we're going to go back to the market correction is going to go away, the buyer's advantages are going to go away. We're going to go back to bidding war, and prices are going to go up. So you talk about my advice to buyers. Don't wait for that. Right now, you still are at the tail end of a market correction. Prices are down between 5 and 10%, right? You still have some negotiating power, not like you did in the summer, but you still have some negotiating power. Ball's still in your court slightly, all right? And you can negotiate that lower price and better terms on the deal, but you might have that higher rate today. But we know, that interest rates are going to come down because Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed, his term is up in May. Right? That chairman of the Fed is a presidential appointed position. So Trump's going to appoint a loyalist, right? We know this is going to happen. And that loyalist is going to dump the Fed funds rate. Now, Fed funds rate only influences mortgage rates, but interest rates are going to come down. I would think, right?
Yeah.
So here's the play. Here's the advice. Buy the house today at today's lower price where you can negotiate things there. Yes, you're going to have a higher interest rate, but 100% within 12 months, you're going to refi that loan.
Sure.
Everybody who bought over the last 2, 3, even 4 years is going to refinance come May, June, July, or August, because we're going to have that new chairman of the Fed. Rates are going to be lower. So don't worry about the interest rate today. Just buy the house. Get the house you want when you still have a selection, because, again, that Noah's Ark flood is going to happen, and that's going to be a problem for buyers.
Well, it should be very interesting as we continue to see what happens in the end of the year. But like you say, if you find something that you like, go for it.
Yeah, go for it. Don't let the interest rates make your decision for you, because the interest rates are going to change. You're going to refi. That's the beautiful thing about owning a home. Your payment never goes up, but it can go down. Right? That's the opposite of renting, because does rents go down?
Never.
Never.
Yep.
Never in the history of time have rents gone down. And they go up without limitation. But mortgages, exactly the opposite. They stay stable, and then you can refi and get a lower payment.
All right. Jim Bottrell, thank you for coming in. Thanks for your insight.
All right.
All right.